Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is my dividend income update for June 2024. So don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So I apologise for not being around in July. If you're a regular viewer of mine, I really struggle with time management, and sometimes when life gets really busy I kind of like go, nope, can't do all of this, and then YouTube is one of the things to go first because there's so much kind of juggling of plates all the time, and so I can't always get the peace and quiet and the time to film and then edit, so I apologise for that. However, I am back today with an dividend income video for you guys. Now, before I get started, I have to say this every time, but I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just me and my journey, and I'm sharing this with you in the hopes that it might inspire you to start as well. Now, June 2024's dividend income is good as well, but then I do know that I won't have any in July and I won't have any in August. So there are very much swings and roundabouts in terms of all of this. And of course, in the long run, hopefully I'll build it up so that there are income reports every month again like there used to be, but at the moment there are definite gaps in my income journey, and that's okay because I'm showing that, consistency and even starting over, although not totally starting over, is okay, and people's journeys change, and you can still do this, and if I can do this then you definitely can. But yeah, so like I said, June 2024 income is good. It's less than last year's, but then that's not surprising, bearing in mind that I've sold 80%, 90% of my portfolio at this stage, so that doesn't surprise me. However, it's still a decent amount, and I'll tell you where I've put the dividends once I've shared with you what the income is, if that makes any sense. So there were 3 payments in June, all of which were individual shares and companies that I've held for quite a long time now. One of them is significantly reduced because I had to sell most of the holding to pay for different fees for different things, and so I'm left with a very small amount, which then pays out a very small amount, as you'll see in a second. But the first one that paid out in June is BAE Systems. So this is a holding that I've had quite a while now, and I've tried to keep hold of this one because A, they pay really good dividends, as you'll see in a second, or I think they do, but B, their growth has been really good this year. I'm up 100%, over 100% in my investments on this so far. So I always talk about a dividend investment journey. I invest for the income that investments can produce. However, in an ideal world, and this hopefully will be the case in most of them, although individual companies do tend to fluctuate a lot more, the idea in the end is that I have dividend income, but I also have the growth of the shares in the first place as well. And BAE Systems in my portfolio is an example of that. So yes, it pays out dividends twice a year, which is what I invested for, but the actual value of the shares themselves has gone up substantially as well. So if I was to sell them tomorrow, which I don't intend to, I'd have doubled my investment. I think it's up at 108% since I started, which is, the best of both worlds. And like I said, none of this is financial advice. This is just me sharing what I'm doing in my journey. But in an ideal world, every single investment that I make will produce dividend income, which is what I'm investing for. That is my aim of my investment journey, but also to get the growth there as well. So then you've got both, and then you can sell some of the capital if needed and get that profit back, but I don't intend to because mine is about dividend investment and the growth is an additional bonus to that, if that makes any sense. But BAE Systems, I've had this quite a while now, and these paid out £55.50 in June. So not a bad start at all. Bearing in mind, January was £15, February was £25, and then March was £15. Even the first one alone in June has covered nearly all of that already. So the next one to pay out is Legal and General Group. So again, another holding that I really tried to keep in my portfolio. Again, I've had these for quite a long time now. I have added to this as I've gone along when I think that, they've had a dip in price and I feel like the price is good. Again, they pay out really good dividends, as you'll see in a second, and another company where it has gone up in terms of capital as well, as in the shares themselves have gone up in price. I will try and add to this when and where I can, but obviously, as you'll see, I don't have the spare money to invest at the moment, but at some point, hopefully I will again in the future, and so this is definitely one for me in there. But these paid out in June £160.93. Like, how amazing is that from one holding? Imagine if I had 10 holdings that all paid out that. Like, then you'd be laughing, because then you can reinvest all that, and then that's how the journey, that's how the snowball, and that's what people talk about when it comes to investing. That's when it really does start to create momentum. And I was starting to get there, and then obviously everything's kind of come grinding to a halt, and I'm back to the teeny tiny snowball. But we'll get there again, and this just shows that this is how this works. £160.93 from one company. This is how the rich stay rich, guys. Just to point that out. Not that I'm rich. Oh my gosh, so far from it. And then the last one, so this last one is the one, so it's Sage Group, and I've had them in my portfolio for pretty much since the beginning, but I've had to sell most of these in the last kind of year, maybe 2 years now. The reason for that is that I'd made such a massive gain in terms of what they cost versus what they cost when I sold them. So the capital gains on that, the gains within the share price had gone up by so much that when I was looking at which ones I was going to sell and which ones I was going to keep, the amount of profit versus the dividends and the percentage wise, Sage made it quite an obvious one to sell in the interim. And so they used to pay out quite a big dividend because I had so many shares, but now I have a very small amount. Obviously the payment is a lot less, and the payment for Sage is a very, very minuscule £3.48. But that's because I had to sell those of them, and sometimes that's just how life goes. So the total for June is £219.91. So you can see, like, that's a really good number, considering that I'm not starting from zero again, because I'm not. I managed to keep onto some of them, but I'm starting from a lot less than I have to. But, you know, there are always ups and downs to life, and hopefully this will show that even though that there's been some kind of ups and downs, we can still move forward, we can still move on, and we can still, yes, am I going to retire at 50? Probably not anymore. But I'm going to keep going and see what happens, and share the journey with you at the same time. So £219.91. If I just scroll down now to show you my other bit of the... So this is what this is looking at now. So you can see that again. So invested cash is always for... I keep saying this, like, I hope that it will change, but at the moment I don't see how that will change. I have some plans in the works, and I will share them at some point. I'm slightly apprehensive about the reaction I might get to that, considering what the topic is. However, I'm doing what's best for me and my voice. So this is what it looks like so far. So for this says 2023, actually. I need to change that number. For 2024, let's just change that. That's silly. I've currently got £499.75 worth of dividends. So if someone came up to you in the street and handed you £500, you wouldn't turn that down, would you? So yes, I could focus on the fact that I'm so far behind where I wanted to be at this point. But I can also focus on the fact that that is £500 I didn't have at the start of the year. It's been reinvested, so I am hopefully kind of building things slowly, very slowly again. But also, anyone can do this. If I can do this as your very average Joe, so to speak, anyone can do this. I'll leave a link below. I invest with Hargreaves Lansdown. I have my ISA with those. I'll leave a link below to that if you want to have a look at that. I totally recommend them as a platform. It's very straightforward to use. And I also get notifications on my phone, which is very happy to receive, and that pops up with dividend income. But that is my income report for June 2024. So, have you had any dividends? How is your dividend investment journey going? Are you yet to start? What is holding you up from starting? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.